And then all the Moda, the Blackbird Designs beautiful lusciousness fabric is coming, hopefully, August, September. And that's going to be before we know it. So is there anything I've forgotten? YouTube on stitching folder, yeah, I've told you that. Mini charm packs, maths.
Your marbles, dear.
Yeah, when you go, if you want to find any bargains, just go on everything's on my sale page, unless it's like individual stitchery panels are on the stitchery.
Sounds like everything's on sale at Julia's.
Everything's on sale at Julia's. We're in Cornwall.
Are on the cross patch pattern page.
That includes Simon. Is Simon on sale?
There's a search bar.
I hope he's feeling better.
Just
I have to say.
type in the title what you're looking for, and it should
I haven't got
find it,
anyone
and
yet, but
if
that's
still in
okay.
doubt, message
I haven't
me.
yet, but they
We're
tune
early.
in watch, yes.
I think I've missed you again, Chris. Sorry. Yeah, so lots of stuff.
I meant to bring the
Lots of
Abbieanne.
lush threads.
Oh, I was going to bring the
Forgot me
hat
out.
down.
It's in the van. It lives on the headrest of the passenger seat, so it looks like I've got a little person.
So there's only so many I can order at a time. And I've got to pay the nasty VAT man next week. So next week I'm going to be broke.
Oh, that's not nice.
So yeah, lots of stuff today, and I've created chaos as usual as I'm looking around. Oh yeah, there's a couple of those left. If you fancy the Hatch and Catch jelly roll type thingy me jiggies, there were 3 of those left. So there's 3 of those left, and I think there were 5 of those bumper packs of fat quarters, 15 fat quarters, and you're saving 15.
11 seconds behind.
Will there be any goodie boxes?
Whichever one it was, Create and Craft for Chand, whatever you want to say. The first time I went on there, do you know that they sit over a button waiting for you to swear?
Oh,
so that they can bleep you out. Paul thought it was hysterical. She was sat there like this with me.
We have 3 viewers. All right.
Oh, well. Like the original goodie boxes.
One of them's Angela.
I've got one.
I used to take to shows, so there will be random goodie boxes.
We're just waiting for Julia to finish.
So good morning, Angela.
Morning.
We're just waiting for Julia to finish. Julia to finish.
Literally, they've been out of the bag. They're on the counter, put back in the bag, and brought home.
Rose is watching
There's a box
here.
of those somewhere,
Hello,
so
Rose.
there won't
Good
be
morning.
like huge quantities of goodie boxes, and every single one will be different. So when I get chance, there'll be random ones will appear. So the best thing is
Good morning, Tony.
just go and
We're
check
just
on the,
giving Julia a little bit more time to finish, and then we're
There's one there.
We'll be live in 2 minutes. Well, we're live now, but we'll be talking properly. You can hear Julia.
So get your mass questions coming in.
Morning, Kay.
Answers even coming in.
It's weird. I get different notifications on my phone than I do on here.
You've got, again, all the orders from yesterday, today and Monday will go into the prize draw. So I will tell you the winner of the prize draw and the maths question on Tuesday night. Okay? So have a lovely week. Pack your bags, get in the car, and you're going off to sunny Cornwall.
Lynn, hello.
To the cupboard now. So have fun, and I'll let you know when I'm going to do a catch up with you as soon as I get organised. Okay. All right. Thanks for watching. Thanks for joining in. I really appreciate you. Thank you. Bye.
So there we are. That's Julia finished this morning on her section. That's Andy going blasty blasty next to me. For those of you that are not aware and don't realise, this is Andy. And you can't see me on his screen, so they're going to think, who the hell's he talking to and what's going on? But on mine, you can see both of us. Hello, everybody. Andy's in my cupboard. Got him. So we're having a 2Amigos special, just us. We are.
should have had more screens like this, but so I've here's my split screen.
Well, at least I can see both of us, which is lovely. This is lovely. I have no idea what we're going to talk about really today. I've got a few bits. I don't know about you. What have you got?
Oh, I've got a few bits. That's about it. You know, you forget I'm on holiday.
Oh yes, sorry. Yeah, you're on holiday, and I'm just being me, aren't I? So who have we got? Give it a few minutes. Look, we've got 21. Hello, morning, Kim. Good morning.
So I have Fiona Robinson, Pat Adams, Jan Williams, and Lish. Lish is
alright. You've got Lish.
I've got Lish.
Oh, Lish, you should have been with me. I'm going to have words. You'll have to swap over halfway.
Unless you've got two devices, Lish, then you can watch both.
That could be well confusing, couldn't it? So we've got Mandy and Kim and Sarah Jane and Sue and Bear.
I've
Good
even
morning.
got Joanna Bays, which means she's up.
She's got up.
Well, it doesn't mean she's up. She could have her phone downstairs in the bed.
For those of you on mine that don't realise who Joanna Baines is, Jo is Andy's partner, and she's obviously up. And good morning, darling. They're across the other side of Cornwall, at the Dragon, aren't
Yes.
you? Having a holiday thing and doing and coming here and that's the point. So tomorrow, Andy's coming here to the cupboard to do a class. We have one space if anybody's local, because I had 2 cancellations last week, unfortunately. So we've got one space left now. So if anybody wants to, shout one or other of us and we'll sort it out.
There was a
tomorrow.
lady who I spoke to yesterday, Helen, who said she might come, but she obviously hasn't phoned in yet. So,
She's not shouted herself.
so Helen, if you're watching, there's still spaces still there. And other people I've got, Wendy, Jenny, June from way back in Kings Lynn.
Morning, June.
Gloria's watching from the other side of Cornwall as well. So.
Morning, Gloria.
And Lisa and Jan and Sonia and Lish again. You're watching both. Oh no, this is morning at Abbieanne. I'm watching you both. I'm watching you both. She's put so Lish. Lish is on both actually.
That'll
So
do.
yes.
So we've got Irene up in Edinburgh. Hello, darling. I got home all right. Thank you for coming to class the other week. Flora. Who's that? Jennifer, Lynn, Moya, Christine.
And Angela is saying that Jo got up ages ago.
She's got her defensive, which is nice to see. Right, okay, so what have we got? Do you want to start? Or should I start?
You start, because I've only, because I'm on Aldi, remember?
Yeah, you're
So
on
I've only
Aldi,
got,
yeah.
I'm just going to show you what bits, because we have no way of sending anything out this week, because we're not home until like this time next week. We may be heading home. We're not really sure what we're doing. We may have another
What
day
is it you
touring.
always tell me? Every day's a holiday.
Every day's a holiday at Crafty-UK. That's the
That's
plan
the
of action.
motto.
That was the reason for setting up the business.
And it works, Right, so what have I got for you? I'm sat in front of, I'm going to do this so that, 2 new centerpieces. When I say centerpieces, they can be wall hangings. They were originally centerpieces for this year's Mystery Quilt. Okay, so once a year I do a Mystery Quilt. We start in January. I do some weird and wonderful design, and then I send patterns to you over or out to people over 6 months, and then come the end of the 6 months you will have made a quilt. So this particular one has finished a week or so ago, so I'm able to show you at last the designs that we've had going on. So I tried something different this year, which was lots of traditional blocks going on, but in the centre the ladies had a choice of 3 different designs. So you're looking at 2 of them behind me. So we've got my orca design and we've got a koi pond. All right, so the theory behind all of this, so the koi pond, basically you get all the appropriate patterns and you build your own koi pond. So you put as many leaves and koi and bits of koi and all bits of koi.
Bits of koi,
doesn't it?
bits of
chopped up bits of koi.
Dead fish in your pond.
Oh, don't! It's hot. It happens when it's hot. Yeah. So there's the koi pond. So there is a pattern now for that is on my website, and I've called that koi flow because they're flowing through. It's good,
I thought it was flow after Flow on the retreat.
Yeah, Flow. Well, it could have been. No, koi flow. So that's available over on the website now as a pattern just for that. Okay. And then the other one here is called Orca. I called it Orca Ying-Yang. And the story behind that one, my brother a few years ago wanted a tattoo doing. He sent me this idea and asked me to do him a design. There is his design for his tattoo. So I've now utilised it into the centre or medallion or a wall hanging or whatever you want to call it for quilting. So there is a pattern for that as well. That's it in different colours. I don't know if you can see. Am I doing that to you as well?
Yep, that's that one there. Yep.
Right, so, and then there's the third centre, but I need your help for this one because the third centre is a Tree of Life, and it's in the middle of the quilt, which has come back from quilting, long-armed by Sarah Wickett at Ambleside Quilting in
Morning,
Kilhampton.
Sarah.
Morning, Sarah.
Sarah's currently staying with myself and the rest of the crowd who are at Bedruggan. So we have Sarah, Karen, Julie, Angela, Joe,
yourself,
and myself.
Yourself.
Have I missed anybody?
Let's get this round the right
Lisa.
way.
I knew there was another one I was
Yeah, there had to be another one.
I knew there had to be another one.
Right, so there we go. So
this is not great for. Oh, no, it's all right for my one. There's not the close-up one, but yes.
Right, so there's your Tree of Life in the centre, and then it's been surrounded by traditional blocks, done slightly different, and then there's a real weird corner going on, and it's rounded. Oh, yeah.
Rounded corner, yes.
Yeah.
I like
indeed.
things that I don't like square and sharp. As I always said, quilts should never be rectangular or square. They should be different shapes.
So there we go. So we've got a rounded do and a weirdy bit. And we had fun with a couple of different techniques and stuff. So watch out over the next few days, because I hope to have this as a pattern book for you, which will have the Tree of Life in. I've not written it up yet. Well, I've written it for everybody that's done the quilt. I'm turning it around just for a sec, because I need to show you Sarah's quilting. I don't know if you can see that.
So I don't know whether I don't know whether Sarah's watching. She might be, because she could be watching one of the other ones. There's at least 3 people over there watching. So.
Cool. Fabulous leafy thing that so goes well with the design on the front. Really nicely done. So there we go. Sarah, Ambleside Quilting, Kilhampton. There we go. We'll have another at that in a bit. Over to you, sir.
Right then. So what I say, as you went green there, and as you got close, you turned into the Hulk. as you leaned into the camera, you became the Hulk. So you went green.
Oh dear, that's not good. We'll stop that.
Quite funny. So if I swing that a bit, then we can both be in it. So
both in that one and both in this one.
So yes, so we're on holiday. We come down a few days ago and did a little bit of touristy thing. We did a bit of Tintagel. We did another castle down in Falmouth, which has been also turned into a World War II. There's big guns there that that were put in place to scare the Germans off, and they did the trick, and they never actually fired them apparently, because everyone knew they were there, and they knew they'd sink anything coming near them, so they never bothered. So
way to go.
We did that, and then we went to Sea Salt, where Joe had a wonderful time, and they've got a Sea Salt
factory shop
down
when we
in Falmouth.
go to Bedruggan, we always have to go there. It's an outing. It's a day outing. We love it down there.
So yes, we went there and added to her Sea Salt collection, and then we've set up residence at Bedruggan. So which, for those who don't know, it's near Mevagissey. I always pronounce that wrong. Near Mevagissey. It's up top on the hill. It's a converted barn stable. Lovely place if you've never come down this neck of the woods and wanted somewhere to come with a group of people and need somewhere to stay. It's like a big craft room upstairs. You've got a kitchen down one end, sofas and telly down the other end, and all them in the middle is loads of chairs and tables, so you can do whatever you want. The people, not just sewing, arts and crafts of any style. You can do down there.
Anything, yeah.
Got there. So there are.
The light is lovely.
Yeah, there's windows down both sides, and also all skylights in it, so it's very well lit for the job. So there's 7 of us staying there for the week. So I'm, as I say, on holiday. So yesterday I went to Bude and did a talk and a pop-up shop.
As you do on holiday.
With what are they? Park House Quilters.
Park House
Quilters. So I met some nice ladies there, Park House Quilters.
Very talented group. Yeah.
And today I've nipped over to the cupboard to do the live for 3Amigos, and then tomorrow I'm back at the cupboard.
The cupboard is my studio, just in case anybody's not aware of that.
So I'm back tomorrow to do breakfast cereals here with Abby here. So that we've got 5 people, have we?
Something like that. Yeah.
So because we've still got a space, so we're doing breakfast cereals. So anyone hasn't seen breakfast cereals, this is breakfast cereals made to use up that scrap fabric that allegedly you all have just a little bit of. So
we don't have any scraps, do we?
that's what we're doing. So while I'm here, and this hopefully will be the last time you see this in this condition, I'm going to finish my Stormont-Sea cushion.
That's tiny.
So this is it's 18-inch. The little blocks, the little ones in the corner are only 3/4. So I started this several years ago at Cornwall. I donated the set of templates that I had. First set went to Angela, then I think the second set went to Gloria. I know Gloria's made one. I'm not sure whether Angela's actually made one, so I'm sort of like slightly behind, although I have modified the templates in the time over that. So hopefully this will be sort of like next month ready to go as a kit. So complete set of fabrics, templates to make it all out for the calm storm at sea. So that's one of the things I'm doing. I don't know where to put anything.
Yeah, there's not a lot of room in here. For those of you that may have just joined us, you know, we do the 3Amigos thing on a Sunday. Well, Andy, being amigo of number 2 or 3 or 1, whichever he wants to be, is here in Cornwall on holiday, supposedly. And he's come to the cupboard to see us today, and we're just doing whatever we're doing between us.
Just between us, just having a chat. And
mostly impromptu.
we have no producer. Well, the producer's Tom. And Tom's cleared off.
Oh, Tom, yeah, the cat. He's not here.
Tom the cat's in charge, and he's legged it.
He's legged it. He's legged it.
I'm not surprised.
Oh, do you blame him? There's weird things going on in here. Weird things. Yes, hello everybody in the patchwork world out there. So we're having a little sort of, what the hell are we doing really, aren't we? So tomorrow is cereal templates. Have you got a sample of cereal with you?
No.
No. There we go. Right, so that'll bring me on to, not dissimilar, to Oct-a-Searle, which is like that.
I did, man. They're saying I didn't. Lisa's not happy because I did. What about Gloria? But I'm sure I mentioned Gloria when it was Lisa was the one I actually missed out.
Gloria, I can't remember, darling. So you need to have words with him.
But I mentioned because I said Gloria's watching, didn't I? Because I went down the list and Gloria
That's
was
more
watching.
than 5 seconds ago. I do goldfish. I can't remember.
Oh, and there's 8 of us. I'm being. This is why I came over
He's
here.
Being corrected.
This is why I came over here, because they said they were going to heckle me if I did it from the dragon. So I've come over here out of the way, and they're still
heckling,
heckling me from like what is it, 20 miles away?
I love it. Oh, Licia's gone. He's a man. Oh.
He's a man. Well, I'm glad they've noticed that.
Yeah. Gloria, you're right. Yeah. Apologies. Kim's having a laugh about all this. So, those of you, sorry about that. We can't be too normal around here. So, Oct-a-Searle is what I'm going to show you. I don't know. Did I even bring a sample over?
They're over there. Would you like to get them?
Well, if you would like. My able assistant for the day. Everybody else has elves or elves. I've not got an elf. That one. Yeah, just that one. I've got Andy being my elf from here. That. There's the Oct-a-Searle. We did that as a little runner, just as a sample. I don't know if you can see that because he's actually quite pale.
So it's called Oct-a-Searle because it starts off with an octagon in the middle, and then you have triangles that
swirl around
the outside.
Okay. And because my name's Searle, this here gentleman decided it ought to be called Oct-a-Searle, and that's what's happened.
So it returns back to from an octagon, it returns back to a square, which is what a lot of people like. But if you don't want to, you could leave off the corner ones and leave it as an octagon.
And then keep fitting them.
And fitting them, and then you would have to put squares in between, or you've got a perfect placemat, table centre, and the smaller ones, you know, a mug rug and stuff, so you can leave them as an octagon shape.
So the templates themselves, they enable you, well, within the template, you have 2 sizes and they will fit together. So this is the 12-inch with a 6-inch small one that, as you can see, fits together. I'm sure I brought a quilt in here to show this. I bet it's on the floor here. Hold on. I'm just going to check my floor.
I'll have to this while Abby grovels on the floor.
Oh, there we go. Look.
It's
on the floor.
It's on the floor.
I did bring it because it was in the van because I've been doing all sorts this week. I was out to a little place called Withiel which is Withiel.
Withiel.
Fabulous little place.
I was going to say, I have no idea whether that's pronunciation
Oh,
or not.
don't. It's only sort of, as the crow flies, probably about 3 or 4 miles that way. But you have to go out and round in all these little lanes. And the
Little lanes.
Little
lanes.
Don't
Tell me about little lanes.
I'm fairly used to Cornish lanes now, having been down here for a long time. Even though I've never come across anything like it. I've got a transit van, and it was single lane with the obligatory grass in the middle, which is fine. I've got no problem with that. What I was a little bit hairy about was it was rock either side. And I had, 6 inches or so either side. And I was driving on going, please no, please no, please no, please no. Down all these lanes like, don't come anywhere. Please no, please no, please no. I was exceedingly relieved to get to Withiel, to my little ladies. And we had a lovely day. There's this whopping great, fabulous village hall in the middle of nowhere. and about a dozen houses or something. It was amazing. I went home a different way. I have to say that very quickly. That wasn't brilliant.
That was mine. When travelling to Bude yesterday, it basically the sat nav drew a straight line between Bedruggan and Bude, and that's what we went. And yes, the lanes did get smaller and smaller and smaller. Grass in the middle, tight right-hand bends. But it was early in the morning, and I didn't meet much traffic. But it was foggy, and there was less than 100 metres seeing distance in front of me, which didn't help either. So, but
yeah. That's Cornwall.
And I came back a different way as well. I came on the new bypass.
You did.
I'm not really sure it's a bypass though, because it's got 30 mile an hour up at the moment.
Yeah, but they've not finished it, have they? It's going to be very lovely.
Well, it looks like they finished it. The tarmac's down. The right lines are there. What more do they want?
That'll do. Yeah, so this is the 10-inch finished square with a 5-inch little one. And I've got some kits left for that, actually. Hang on, look. Kits available on the website if anybody's after. What size does that come out at? I didn't write it on there. Yes,
big.
Yeah, did I? It's quite a size. So if they're 10, 20, 30, 40, so it's 50 by 70, so it's a good size lap quilt, that one, if anybody's wanting. And they are 71 quid for all your fabric and your templates and everything. Right, over to you, sir.
So there you go. So that was that. So just in case Joe's looking for these, your samples are here. Stop looking, because she was going to possibly sew the binding on these, sew the binding down this morning, but I've stolen them and brought them over to you because I didn't think you needed. Because you're busy watching myself, aren't you? So we did this as a class at Glasgow as a workshop, but now we found these lovely little butterflies. If I zoom that in there, you can see that each one of these little triangles has a butterfly on. So we're doing these as a little pack. So this is FPP, foundation paper piecing. Not for everybody. A lady yesterday swore about it. I don't want to do that in foundation paper pieces. Like, yeah, she wasn't a fan of it. I actually quite like it, and Joe is sort of quite liking it as well. It gives you lovely sharp points all the time because of the way it works. I mean, you're just working upside down and inside out. I mean, what could be more difficult than or
this
difficult
is what
than
Andy's
that?
talking about. Fabulous.
So yeah, so we've got 2 different colours, 2 different colourways. So we've done these up. We had 2 butterflies. So that's them. So they're now been made, so they can be. I think Joe's cut up this one. Joe's cut up all the fabric for that, and that's ready kit form. I've just needed it finished picture on the packet, so which will be done when we're home. So we haven't got any special offers on the website, today, because we're not here to ship it out. So it's not point having a special offer because you can't get hold of it. So
I'm having a little giggle here. I'm just looking at some of the comments. Hello, everybody. And we've got one here that we ought to have a list like Julia. Normally I have a list and I forget where the list is. I have to say that we've not had a list today, but we just thought, do you know what, we're going to wing it.
We really wing it. I mean, I couldn't get the camera. The camera was working, then about 5 minutes before we were due to go on air, the camera stopped working.
Right, so what have we got here?
All I've got is Angela has stolen one of my tables.
Has she?
I didn't even have 5 this year.
For those that don't know,
Andy 5 tables, but
at Bedruggan, which is where we're talking Mevagissey, where Andy and everyone are staying, they have nice big tables. and Andy is known to take over just about all of them. He has at least 5 on the go at any one time, which I feel is quite excessive.
I mean, I've only got 3 this year.
So far. But you've not really
been
there.
I've just lost one. There isn't any extra ones because we've got, with there being 8 of us, that's 8.
Including Gloria.
Including Gloria and Lisa. Apparently Sarah's out, that's why we couldn't. So we can praise Sarah's quilting all we want.
Okay,
but
she's not there listening.
She's not actually there to listen to it.
Well, that's fair enough, that's okay. I was looking at comments here, so...
that's a nice quilt you got in the background there.
This one, that's one of Andy's potato chips. Again, templates, right, so we did Carol missed Julia, she woke up late. Catch up later. Watch Neil Young's 2-hour live Glastonbury set last night.
Yeah, they were talking about that on the radio on the way on BBC on the way over.
I can't say that I've seen any of it.
Saying that was very good. I haven't seen any of Glastonbury. I've only heard because I've been travelling around on the radio. So obviously Radio 2 is live from Glastonbury. There's been some quite funny stories, but yeah, I haven't actually called up any to watch. Sort of like,
Morning, Bose, Cass, Abby, will you have pattern for the quilt when you come to Langport? Oh yes, I will have the patterns.
Someone's coming to Langport Hall.
I'm going to Langport. Yeah.
At least there's one person. At least there's one customer coming to Langport Hall. This is a new quilt. This is a new quilt show in where is it?
Northampton.
Northampton. That's it. It's
like a stately home. I'm in a stable. Literally, I'm in a stable. So anybody that's in that area, please do come and support the show. I think it's going to be a great laugh. I'm actually quite looking forward to being in my stable. I'm just going to look in and see what dates they are. Hang on, I'm touching his wires here. They could all go
No,
bang.
I'm plugged direct in now. I gave up with the wires, so yes.
Look at the diary. Where's Lang?
So while Abby looks at the
We
diary...
are 18th, 19th and 20th of July. New quilt show. Northampton.
So that is our next. That is our next. That's our next show. So that is so. Somewhere different. We can't tell you anything about it. I can't tell you. Well, there's a list of traders on the Grosvenor website, but
there is. I'm not sure.
Other than that, we know nothing. We hopefully that there'll be a reasonable flow because the last new one they had was Newmarket, and the flow of that show was. Bad.
Not the best on the first
everyone
attempt.
Everyone got
good.
lost, but they are altering that. I mean, you have to give them chance to set up a show. They don't know how you quilters wander around, although Pete ought to by now. But
he should. He's been around it for years enough. But there we are.
Hasn't quite
He's a man.
it. Yeah, so that's a new one. And so again, they're very good at this, recognising the difference between men and women, aren't they? The women, aren't they? He's a man. They can spot us. They can spot us a mile away.
Yeah, we're quite good like that. We're quite good. I've got actually, because I've got new linen to bring with me to Langport. I told you about linen.
Loads of linen.
Loads of linen.
This will be now known as the lady with linen.
It's gorgeous.
Or the linen lady.
Nah.
Lady does linen.
Something appropriate will happen, I'm sure. Answers on a postcard or in comments.
Include a £5 note with that.
So I've been making samples using the linen, and I've got a quilt that's just gone off to be quilted somewhere or other.
She just sent it to some random address. Please quilt this and send it back. I enclose a £5. Thank you very much.
I used 2 or 3 different people that are all fabulous. So now this is a block of a big quilt that I've done.
Right.
All right. And so basically you get different. However, if you want to do like 9 big squares, you get 9 fat quarters and then you chop it up, put it back together, sort of thing. I think Gloria wants some of that. Gloria's done a quilt. Gloria, remember Gloria? She's the one at Bedrogan that apparently we missed, but we didn't. She's done it came in pieces the other day. It was all on the table. It's now up on the wall. I didn't want to take pictures of people's quilts at Bedrogan because I didn't know whether they were going to like them being broadcast on telly already. But they'll be in our snapshots later. But so Gloria's done a wonderful thing in that sort of colours, like embroidery things all on the wall. If you look on my Facebook page afterwards, there is a photo of one of the sections of Gloria's, which is hand needle turn and plique. It's stunning.
Yes.
I've put photos of just the middle section. She did allow me the other day.
But it is
stunning.
Say it is finished
when
now.
It's done.
It is together on the wall. We're not finished.
But
been quilted or anything like that. But yeah, it's hanging on the wall of the dragon next to Angela's Calm Storm at Sea, and Marin and Nelson's Compass.
I tell you, there are some very, very talented people around us. We're very lucky, very lucky. So anyway, so we have loads and loads of linen that I have now as fat quarters and half meters and on the bolt. And that's all going to go to Langport Hall with me to the new show. So if anybody fancies doing a linen...
and he's looked in the window and decided to clear off.
Oh, has he?
We've locked the door.
The producer
keep the
being Tom.
out.
I've locked the cupboard door. I've locked us in today.
It's a lock-in!
It's a lock-in.
Is there any alcohol?
Yes, actually, there's some that I was kindly gifted the other day. Those of you that know, thank you very much. Yeah. So, yeah, I've locked us in because on a Sunday morning, yes, I do my little bit, normally it's half an hour. We've actually got sort of longer than that probably. And because we pitch frame as well, we tend to do all the pitch framing on a Sunday morning. But we did it yesterday, so I was too busy yesterday. But people are quite likely to wander in. And we could get some random stranger doing anything in here. And we don't need that really. So there's another little sample.
It's a very different texture.
It's a totally different,
you know, to the the cotton,
the normal cotton that we use, the quilting
the...
weight. But if you look at the back, you can see it doesn't. I'm surprised. It does not fray anywhere near as much as I expected it to. It is no worse than a normal cotton.
I find some of the more expensive fabrics fray more than the cheap fabrics. I don't know whether that's a technical thing about them or...
Well, and if you look closely, some of them, now this is me being horrible, you could shoot peas through them, as my grandma would say. some of these expensive are so flimsy, so thin. But colourings are fabulous, aren't they? But yeah, so that was just... And you know what? These are... I really hate to say this, but these are easier to put together than normal cotton because they are very slightly thicker. They fit under the foot so much easier and butt up to your 1/4 inch foot. They're fabulous. So anyway, so there was an Oct-a-Searle as a sample that I did there. So yes, we're going linen. We've got lots of linen. I think I've got 3 shelves of bolts of linen.
You're going to have a trailer to go to Langport Hall.
I'll need a bigger van.
So Jacqueline on mine is praising Newmarket, about saying how the venue was lovely and well lit.
I've not been there yet.
And lots of space between the stands. It's just there was a little bit of a flow problem, Jacqueline. So they're going to alter that. As Tom crept in.
Yes, the producer has come through the window. He's come through. He got fed up waiting.
So yes, anyway, so that's that. So my next bit. So what I'm doing at Bedruggan as well. Well, I'm not doing anything at Bedruggan because I spend most of the time travelling around Cornwall, really. But so we did this before, which you've seen this rainbow hexagon. So we've done this in several different sizes. So the largest size of all, we're now going to make a quilt in it. So we're using cottage cloth, which is the one behind me there. So that's the cottage cloth one. So we're using that because that's coming back in and they're going to relaunch that. So they're all kites. So that's 3 kites sewn together to make a triangle. So you get 3 bits like that. So there's 18 shades.
So I'm using my shelf.
So that's one half, and then you put them together you put the 3 together to make half a hexagon.
That's cool.
And then you'll end around with a whole one. So this will be, we're doing a kit in this. So you'll make 9 of these. You'll have 8 complete hexagons and 2 halves. And then we're just waiting to see when we've done it as to what we're going to put in the gaps that will be between the hexagons. But this will be available. It will definitely be available at festival. may be available at Langport Hall,
Okay.
but I'm not sure whether we can get the cottage cloth from Macau in by then, or whether it might not come till.
They're quite good points.
Depends whether they've got it or whether we actually go via Macau on the way home and pick it up.
Oh, don't. When we did the last retreat in Basingstoke, when we finished, Andy says, "Oh, we're going to Macau on the way home." I thought, "Oh, that's a good idea." So I went too, and bought even more fabric. I can't do that again. Oh, it's naughtiness.
So talking about retreats, should we do that? We show
We
about the
should.
pick. So I've got to pick three slides. So
Should we explain to everybody, because
so
not everyone's retreating, are they?
I've just knocked out the camera. I've knocked out the other one. I moved.
Technical area.
It's back.
Technical area. Technical error.
And if you move it back, it comes back.
Right.
Hang on.
Yep.
Yep. We've got a lot of problems with the small camera.
He's having problems with his cameras, folks. Right.
Nope, I think it's
Now this is something everybody can have a go at, all right? And I'm going to chuck it out there to everyone. If you want to take part in this, is a bit of a challenge, okay?
back.
You need to shout me. I don't know that Andy's going to want to do that, but shout me on my Facebook page. So a few years ago, I did a challenge that was called Take 3. So what basically it is, I had people pull out, and we had a colour. I've disappeared over there. A colour.
It came back, then it went, and then it came back, and it went.
A number and a shape. And then you get to make a little item. Now, the item you make can be anything. It doesn't matter. Just patchwork item. You could quilt it, you could finish it, you could do whatever you want. All right. So when I did my original one, I pulled out, for my sins, 14 blue Dresdens. So that was what I made.
Oh, look, we're back.
And we're back. Ba-ding! So
I don't move it anymore.
14 blue Dresdens. So the other week, Andy says to me, all of those coming on our retreat.
Coventry
retreat.
We're probably going to do it for Basingstoke yet, but we don't want to get that too excited. We've still got one space left for Basingstoke, although I keep almost selling it. But I was almost selling it.
It'll happen. It'll happen.
I nearly had two the other day because there was a lady, she'd been on holiday and suddenly realised she hadn't paid her deposit. But
right.
I've now contacted her, and she was very poorly. She came back from holiday and was very poorly. But she does still want to come, so I've now...
So that's the Basingstoke next year.
Yeah, so I said I'd send it information, which I actually did this morning, last night, because I'd forgotten all about it again. So
see, I'm not the only one that forgets everything either.
So yeah, and I've even paid the deposit for both hotels.
Oh,
so
well
we are booked in. There's no stopping it now. We're going.
Sorry, I'm just looking at a cat trying to get in a box over there.
Oh,
he's got in.
Cat's got in a box.
Right. So what were we saying? We were talking about our retreats, 3Amigo retreats, okay? Not any of the others that I do, but the 3Amigo retreats.
He's out of the box.
So we're doing Coventry in October, isn't it?
Yes.
And so what we're going to do, now you don't have to, but you can do. We are going to, all the ladies that are taking part in this one, we're going to pull you a set of colour, shape and number and set you a challenge to make a little item to bring to the retreat with you for the Sunday evening, and then we can have a show and tell in the bar we thought was a good idea, or something like that. But if anybody else wants to take part, if you comment on this or message me or whatever, I will do a dip for you as your number, your colour and your shape. Right, so what we've got somewhere, what happened to that?
Pot. So everybody in the database that's coming has been numbered 1 to 26.
Have they? Okay.
So that's the number on the database orders. So therefore they will all. So we will pick them out and number orders, and then I will post them on the WhatsApp group. So you'll know what you've got. You'll also know what everybody else has got, but you can't nick anybody else's. You've got to go by your. It will say your name, and number 1, your name, and then there. So I know number 1 is No, I don't know. Yes, number 1 is Annie, right. Annie H.
Okay.
The one one of the sisters of the other sister is Linda. So they are 1 and 2. So we could pick 1 and 2.
Okay, right.
And,
so we'll do this just
live.
so that everybody understands what it's about. So you don't necessarily have to be on the retreat. The ones we're talking about are the ladies on retreat, but if anybody wants to take part, just shout down there. Right, so there we are. So you need, what you're seeing there are colours. So you pull out a different colour and it'll have, do you want to,
So
one
right,
of each colour?
so we're going for a blue one. I can see that yellow one, a yellow one, and a red one.
And that should give you the 3 things that you need.
So I've got 3 in front of me now. So the blue one is, so the blue is a circle.
Stop, don't be nasty.
Green circle. And you got to have 21 of them.
Oh my gosh. Oh dear.
Good job that was a practice. Good job that was a practice run, and we haven't given that to poor Annie H.
No, we're not giving that to anyone just like that, because that's a little bit wicked, isn't it?
So,
but
so
that's basically what it's about.
That's how it could come out. You know.
Let me pull 3. So what have we got here? There's a blue one, a yellow one, and a red one. So what's that one?
So shape is octagon.
Okay.
Colour is purple.
Karen gave me all her purple fabric the other day. Thank you,
And
Karen.
it's 4. So I mean that's brilliant. I mean, you could buy some purple fabric. You could buy Abbie's Oct-a-Searle, and you're sorted.
Yeah, yeah, job done. But yeah, so that's what it's all about.
Because there's one octagon in the middle, then there's another one round the outside, and it's like, and you say you're done. Octagon, do it in purple, you're done that one.
That's it. So, but the item wise, I mean, you could make a bag, you could make a quilt, you could make a wall hanging, you could just make a piece of patchwork. We're not saying spend a fortune on this thing unless it's something you're really enjoying, obviously.
There's no size, you know.
There's no restrictions.
You know, the first one I drew out, I mean, it said circle. You know, realistically,
they could be huge.
You could cut. You could, I was going the opposite
well,
way.
Yeah, but if they're huge, they're easier to stitch round.
I was going cutting round, you know, 21 10p pieces in green and appliquing them on at random on a background and just quilting diagonally through it. Job done. You could be done in an hour.
If you got some of that super duper Bonder Webbies, not Bonder Web, but the real super duper one, you probably wouldn't even have to stitch round it. Just stick
or
them
you
on.
could do it as Abbie's
reverse applique.
I was wanting to use the name, but was it a
pile and plunder?
Pile and plunder. You get a black piece of fabric, green underneath, and you could
that could work so well.
You could quilt 21 holes in it and then cut them out, and you once again job done. Or you could do several layers, several different layers of what colour green, and have different coloured green spots all over.
But what you could do is have lots of different size circles within each other, machine them, and then you cut around each one, so it doesn't have to be huge.
I mean, you
could have
a black piece of fabric, and you could applique green stitching on it in circles.
Do you know what I was just about to say? You could just stitch. If you look at, have I got one here? This one here. I'm going to put it that way first. Oh, there's the cat. Is just.
That's Tom saying, wind it up, wind it up.
It's embroidered.
5 minutes to go.
It's embroidered. Well, to be honest, we should be winding up a bit, really, shouldn't we? We're going on and on here. So we recap what we got going on offer things, or what I have anyway. 2 new designs for you, available on my website, abbieanne.com. Dead ink. They were the centres of this year's Mystery Quilt, which has just become public. We won't necessarily show that again. I'm just looking at the time. We've gone over, have we?
Well, no, we've gone over into my section, so it's okay, isn't it?
Oh, we're all right. We're in his section. I'm so used to finishing our past and running away and leaving it to you. I forgot.
We had.
But people also might be getting bored.
We didn't know whether we were going to go for a half an hour or an hour, or more like 3/4 of an hour is about where it's going to be.
Where we thought. But yeah. So there's those 2, and then I'm busy writing up and will produce a booklet for the actual overall big Mystery Quilt. That will be with us soon. We have the Oct-a-Searle that you all know about. We just keep going on and on about. Different sizes available as templates made by my friend here. They're very good, you know. And I have a kit for that one, if indeed you want. Which
you will be bringing these to Langport Hall.
Langport Hall, we will have all of this. I think I need more than one stable. I've got a stable. 3 meters by 3 meter stable. Is that a big horse? I suppose that's a big horse, isn't it? Yeah, so that was sort of me, and the fact that I have an awful lot of linen now.
Lady that does linen.
Lady what linens? Is like that. Yeah, so that'll all be to Langport Hall, and I'll bring those with me now when I come out and I teach and I do my pop-up shops. Yeah, so the ladies at Withiel, I keep wanting to say Lost Withiel because that's the big place. Withiel were fabulous this week. We had a lovely time. We were doing Pile and Plunder, reverse plique. There seems to be a bit of a resurgence in this going on at the minute, which I'm very grateful for. Thank you for your support, everybody. Great fun technique. Good fun, good fun, good fun. I'll shut up for a minute. Over to you, sir.
Well, so yes, we're I was just sitting there quietly here. So yes, I'll be finishing off with, say, we're doing the large quilt. We don't make large quilts very often, but we're doing this large quilt in this, which will be available as a kit, maybe at Langport Hall if we can get hold of the fabric in time. If not, definitely it'll be available at Festival. We've moved at Festival. We're slightly different to where we were last year. We've crept back into this 9A hall, which is the Quilters in Action.
That was the cat. Tom.
I thought it was when Joe held up one of our quilts the other day, because we used to have Mac Dog used to be there as a quilt tester, but so we haven't got Loki into the job. But Joe held up a quilt and said, "What do people think?" And Loki growled yesterday.
Oh, no.
So he obviously didn't like it, but yes, we've moved at Festival, so we're now in this Quilters in Action section. We're next to the big shed, so we are going to be realistically easy to find. So those that went last year, you can remember there was this big pine shed, and they were selling this to go in gardens to be a studio, a quilting studio or whatever you want. We're right next door to that, though. So we just changed positions slightly due to our friends wanted the bit of stand that we had, because they've extended themselves.
They pushed you out.
Well, what the fabric wanted more, because they've got some legit, I can nearly got that wrong, legit kits are coming over from America to be with them, and they needed a little bit more room for them, so we've moved to a little bit a different stand. So that's where you'll find us at Festival of Quilts, where we will definitely have this then, he says. Maybe not, but no. It depends when if Macau have got the fabric, then we can have it instantly. If not, we'll have to wait for it.
We will. I'm just looking what's going on.
So I'm going to finish off my Storm at Sea, allegedly, and then
I've lost all my comments. I don't know what I've done now.
And then we've got these two new kits, FPP kits, to come out as soon as we're back. These will be ready to go if you want to have. And we are doing a Christmas tree, but not all trees are Christmas, don't forget. It depends what fabric it's in. Could be a summer tree, an autumn tree, but we're doing a tree FPP, which is going to be that big. You can't see how big that is because my hand's off the screen.
About 3 foot.
So yeah, so we're just doing that, so we'll be starting on that as well.
Lovely. That's cool. I've got my Christmas one, this year's, because I always do a Christmas design every year, and it's always Christmas trees, always. I don't know, those that know me will know I always do. And it's a wall hanging a bit like that. It's drawn, and I get to go to Bedruggan next week with a group of ladies, and we're all friends, and we all sit and we do stuff, except I have to work 3 days, so a bit like you, elsewhere. Yeah, so they all want to make it as a sample, so that will be some fun.
Joanna is working on the Christmas tree as we speak.
Is she? That's good to know. Good to know.
That's because I've taken her other samples that she's with me here, so she can't carry on with them.
She can't carry on with them. Yeah. So yeah, while I'm over at Bedruggan, I've got to do 2 days' work over at Liscard, sewing machine servicing at the school.
Oh right.
We've got, I don't know how, far too many machines to be servicing anyway. So Paul and I are going over there for 2 days to sort all that out for them, which is lovely. Because we do that, you know. Yeah, so the other thing was, as I say, I'm just repeating again, if anybody wants to take part in a Take 3 challenge, comment, or message me and I will do a dip for you, and we'll have a it's October, isn't it, that we're going to the
Yep,
so everybody's got until October to make an item and put a photo on. Is that a good thing? Sounds like a plan.
So we're going to do the draw when we finished here, and then I'll collate them on the database, and then I will ship them out on the WhatsApp.
There we go. So originally, this was June 18, so 2018, and it was Biddick Quilters Challenge that we did, and so it's carried on. 15 blue Dresden petals, and I've signed it and everything. So yeah, there we go. So anyone wanting to take part in that, just give a shout. All right.
I'm saying they can be any size. They're
any size, any item.
Cushion, table mat, mug rug. You know, full-size bed quilt if you're up to it.
If
you know,
that's what you want. Or you
want.
might find you design something you really, really love and make it and repeat it and do all the rest of it. There are no rules
Think
as far
outside
as
the box.
That's the one. Definitely.
Think outside the box.
Just play.
Yes, you know.
So yeah, there we go.
You know, that just because it says square, you know, you can do. There's lots of things you can do, as in circles. We said you can applique the circles on. You could pile and plunder the circles.
You could just machine circles in quilting.
Yeah, you know, there's 3 different ways just for a circle. So everything else has lots of different options.
With squares, you don't necessarily have to have them pieced together. When you think square, you think well pieced.
Yeah, yeah.
You could applique squares.
Yeah.
You could have piled up squares. You could have shifted squares all the way around. Actually, that would look a little, that would look quite good. A bit like flying geese, really, wouldn't it?
Yes.
That would be cool. Right, so there we are. Have we bored you all enough yet?
Alison's saying, hello, lovely people. If you've only just joined us, Alison, you're a little bit late to the party because we're just about going. But
well, you can watch us back if you really feel the need.
Yeah, if you feel the need. You've got nothing better to do, and whoever's going to watch, someone was late and they missed Julia, so they're going to be watching that as well.
Yeah, okay. What I will do is I'll download this and upload it onto my YouTube, so if anybody is wanting to go back and have a little look, you'll find it on our Facebook for a while, but they take it down.
They only stay for a month now. So,
yeah, so I now download them, stick them onto my YouTube, which is Abbieanne Patchwork. Basically Abbieanne Patchwork everywhere, and you'll find that there then.
And I normally have a slide that tells me when the next one is, but I didn't do that. So no.
2 weeks time.
2 weeks time is, where are we now? So it will be the 13th of July.
There we go. Sunday the 13th of July.
Well, and I would have been at the St Nick's Quilt Show in the church, but unfortunately, if you're living in Kingsley and the surrounding area, that show has been cancelled due to nothing to do with Sanford Quilters. It's not their fault. Something to do with the venue, the church. Is not available on that date. So they were all ready to go. We handed out the adverts for it at Springfields, and the whole show has been pulled, unfortunately.
That
so
is a shame.
On the good side is they're ready for next year. They're sorted. They've got another 12 months just to tweak because they're ready to go.
And add some betters. But having said that, if you're out and about around the country, do support your little local quilt shows and displays and things. People put so much time and effort into them.
We went to a great one in Lincolnshire, little village hall in the middle of nowhere, town I've never heard of, near Louth. Fantastic little show. They had hundreds of people through the door. Really good show, really worthwhile.
I love going to them. In fact, you see so much talent, and this is me then telling everybody off. Will you please put them into Malvern so that everybody can have a little look at them? That would be lovely. And
on another note, we're all decided we're moving, and we've drawn up plans for the new place. so if you can see that there, that's our plan for our new houses.
I have to bring it this way for mine. I don't know if up there. I don't know if you can see that. So this will be my cupboard, and then we quite like the idea of that. In actual fact, do you know what? If I win the lottery, I'll say this to everybody. If I won millions, because it was 207 million or something, wasn't it? I would buy a humongous piece of land somewhere, preferably a wood, and in the middle, I would have a humongous shed like that, huge, right? And a whole load of cabins, so people could come and stay in the cabins, and then in the shed we would have Patchwork one side, and we'll have a really, really good cafe in the middle, right? That do cakes and decent normal food. And then on the other side, we'll have motorbikes and men's stuff. So the men can have a car park round the one side, and the ladies can have a car park this side, and then everybody would be happy. Can you imagine that?
Lynn has saying good morning from Malta.
Oh, good morning, Malta. Is it lovely? How nice, how nice. I can't see what
36
anyone's
degrees.
doing. Oh, that's a bit hot.
I think it was it's I don't know, nearly 30 degrees in Kings Lynn at the moment.
It?
It's much hotter up the country.
I think they're giving us 22 today.
We're not exactly having a heat wave down here in Cornwall, but yes, whereabouts in Malta? Can you answer back quickly? I've been to Malta. I've been to. We used to stay in Bajiba.
Oh, okay. I've never been. Paul used to go diving there. I can't see any of my comments.
And now they're getting the people are getting their adverts in. So Plym Peacemakers. So if you're down this neck of the woods,
there we go.
Plym Peacemakers has their show in Yelpton,
and I'm their trader.
She's a trader
and pop-up shop
and
with linen.
With linen. Don't forget the linen. This is the 21st to the 23rd of August. So
That's right.
This is in Yelpton. It's a school.
It's in like a community school type thing.
It's
fabulous venue.
Not hard to find. Yes.
Excellent cake. Can recommend the cake. And they have a. Do you know what? They're all so busy. I get a lot of my Christmas presents there. They do these great. They've got these great big tables full of homemade patchwork stuff.
Yes.
Fabulous. They're just making funds and stuff. They're really good. So it's well worth. And then I'll have linen.
Lynn is back to Cornwall tomorrow from Malta. But she still didn't tell me where she was in Malta.
Okay. Well, never mind. She was in Malta.
That must be our furthest furthest viewer.
At the moment.
Never had a viewer from abroad before.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I don't know. I may have done. They just don't tell me.
I get good morning from wherever they're on holiday.
Oh, right.
Yeah, we like to know where you all are in this world. We do like to know.
So that is about it. One place left on Basingstoke, which is next year. The Take 3 challenge will go out next week on the WhatsApp for those that are coming to Coventry. It's not compulsory, but if you don't do it, you'll be in trouble.
He said that. I didn't say that.
And it will be displayed in the bar in the evening because we're all been there. We're all going to get there on Sunday night. Get your machines into the sewing room, have tea, and you can go to bed or have a drink and in the bar or whatever, and then we'll crack on at 8 o'clock.
We will. We'll have
Monday
3
morning.
days of stitch rings.
3.5.
Sorry, I'm corrected. 3.5 days of stitch rings. I'll best get it right. 3 workshops. We're all doing a workshop.
We're all doing a workshop.
So that'd be good.
The only person that hasn't come up on my list, as you come up on your list, is Julia. Has she been watching?
I don't know.
Oh, you've lost your list.
I've lost all my lists. I can't. I'll have to go back afterwards and check all the comments and stuff. I've lost it. I'm sorry, folks.
So we're an Amigo and Amigo Dan. We could have done. I was going to see whether to do a live, but I never got round to it because you can pull people in on this. So we could have had 3 Amigos. But
oh, that sounds a bit technical to me. A bit technical. Right. Okay. I think we've probably bored these dear people long enough. We've nearly done an hour. I'm sorry. And if you've lasted this long, thank you so much. Your support is appreciated. Right, I'm going. You ready?
I'm ready. I'm ready to press the end stream button. So that's a goodbye from him, and it's a goodbye from her.
me. Right, 3, 2, 1.
Go.